Say, I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you for taking the time out to tune in because without you guys, I would not have a show. Let's edit the privacy. Okay, done. Tell you thank you for taking the time out to tune in. Without you guys, I wouldn't have a show. And I want to say Merry Christmas to all of y'all. Hopefully you had a great day. And for those who have lost loved ones, I know how tough it is. I lost my mom and my dad. So I don't really do holidays. I kind of stay to myself and I just kind of sleep the day away or either find something to do to occupy my mind. I want to make sure we're streaming to all the right places. So just bear with me for just a second so I can make sure. Okay, so yeah, we're in the right spots. Let's go back over here. Yeah, we're in the right spots. My mind. I want you to push the share button on this video and let's get this information out there. Now, with everything that's going on with black education in the city of Houston and messing over kids in general by the Houston Independent School District, I do what I normally do during the holidays. I don't take a day off. I got a lot of work to do because I got to get ready for a lot of things. And I will tell you that I'm working on a class action lawsuit. I'm working on a class action. I'm not going to say what it's about, but I will tell you it's about the Houston Independent School District. I want to start this off by saying this. When it comes to education, especially in the Houston Independent School District, I know what I need to know. I can find out what I need to know. I know things that go on at a lot of schools that people would never expect me to know. And I want to put this out there because, normally I drink me a beer on the show. But I got my Hennessy tonight. So we're going to take us some shots. While I'm sitting here with y'all, we're going to take us some shots. And I'm going to have me some fun tonight. Let's get something straight before we start. Superintendent House in your cabinet, you motherfuckers ain't nowhere near as smart as me. You don't have the time to dedicate to certain projects that I have the time to do. See, unlike you, Superintendent, I don't punch a clock. I know you get paid a salary, but I don't punch a clock. So I work when I choose to work. And I can find out information whenever I want to find it out. Ain't nobody got to tell me. But I tell you what, some of you rookies that are new to this, the urban been around for a minute. Let's take a shot. The urban been around for a minute, Superintendent. And I've got access to far more than I had 14 years ago when I first started. I remember the first board meeting that I went to. I was nervous. I didn't know what to say. I asked God to give me the words. He gave me the words. We solved the issue. That was about some band uniform. The second assignment I had was Jason Kitchens, forcing teachers to change grades of kids and using a substitute teacher to use it. And Jason happened to be one of the best friends of the current superintendent at that time, Terry Greer. So nobody thought anything would be done about it, but Jason ended up losing his job. We don't even want to talk about everything that I've done in 14 years. But I'm far more versed in this than you guys could ever imagine. 14 years ago, it was me by myself. Now I got a team. I got private investigators. So if I need information on anything that goes on, one, I'm a taxpaying citizen. And I have a right to know how my money is being spent in any one of your schools. I can walk in and ask to see the budget for any school. You got a problem with that, you're hiding something. If you're doing everything by the book, you wouldn't have a problem showing me or any other parent that walks through the front door what's going on with their tax money. But I know when you people get to scrambling and running, you done screwed up. And one thing I'll never do, and I said it last night, when my enemy is making mistakes, I never correct them. I want you to make those mistakes. I have more than enough time to just sit here and pick y'all asses apart. That's what I'm great at doing. And for me to y'all, I want to say this. I did an episode last night about the special ed coordinator, Kim Williams over at Yates. Let me check you, little girl. Let me check you right now. You remember that group chat you in? Do you really think that I need to talk to Tiffany Guillory at this point? You damn right I called and checked on my principal. You damn right I'll send a text and check on her daily. But I don't need her information. You want to know why? Because there's more than enough motherfuckers in that building that hate your guts that'll give me everything I need. Make sure that if you come for me, you better have your ducks lined up, because I don't have a problem suing you. You ain't got shit. But I'll take the little bit that you got. I will sue you and take everything you got and put a judgment against you when you lose, and make sure that I get your paychecks until you pay me off. So what I recommend you do with your frail little ass is sit down somewhere in a fucking corner and don't play with me. You ain't got what it takes to come fucking with me. I'm gonna get that out there first. Another thing, Dwayne Clark, fuck you in your ass. Like the old Luke Skywalker used to say, with 9 inches of limp dick. I don't give a fuck about you, dude. The only thing I give a fuck about is that you go to that school on a daily and take care of your business and take care of those kids. That ain't what you've been doing. And that's something we're going to go over tonight, because the Freedom of Information Act is a motherfucker. And then I want to say this publicly so that people can grab it. I said it in the boardroom and I meant what I said. If I need to know anything about the Houston Independent School District, and I said it in front of the board and in front of the superintendent, I have bought off one of your people. Your people give me the information that I need because I pay them very well. And all I want is the truth, because we know we can't get the truth out the Houston Independent School District. Y'all nothing but a band of crooks to begin with. Let me tell you where we messed up at. Bringing in a bunch of outsiders that had no connection to our communities. They had no connection to our schools. And they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And now you've really screwed us all up. And if you guys are down with it, man, go to my page on Facebook. There's an invite. I've sent out, I think, 3,000 invites for the January 12th board meeting. I don't expect for 3,000 people to show up, but I expect for that motherfucking room to be full. And it's going to be full of people that want answers to some questions. It's going to be full of people who special ed children that you fucked over. It's going to be full of people who represent Black education, like the first African-American high school in the city of Houston, Booker T. Washington. The second one was Jackie A. Senior High School. So I expect for some Eagles and some Lions and some Colts, some Wildcats, some folks from North Forest, some Cashmere Rams. I expect some Sterling Raiders to be there. I even expect some Jones Falcons to show up because you fucked them out of their schools. Some Smiley, some Forrest Brooks. Because, you know, we've been playing this fuck the black kids shit for too long. So how are they doing it? Take notes, Mr. Superintendent, because you can't fix it now. And I know you can't fix it. If you did, you'd fuck up everything. You're going after my principal for CCMR numbers, college and career readiness numbers. You say that they are too low. They are too low. And, well, it looks bad to TEA. Well, why would it look bad to TEA? When the high school submitted the numbers to the district to send in at the end of the year, y'all didn't send them in. Now, I wouldn't find that out at the school level. Your people told me. You didn't send the numbers in. And when you tried to send them in, TEA wouldn't take them. So that made all of our college and career readiness numbers look fucked up. So can somebody from the district answer? I got a Booker T. Washington Eagle, my man, Darius Primetime Austin, whose father was great coach over there at Booker T. Say he gonna be there. They coming from all over the city, brother. So can you tell all of us, especially us schools that are struggling, why you didn't send those numbers in on time? You like to hold people accountable. The person that was in charge of that, why didn't those numbers get sent in on time? And now it's a reflection on the schools. See, what you did, y'all fucked up at the district level. And you rolled the shit back down to the principals, trying to make them look bad for some shit you didn't do. So, Mr. House, when are you going to fire that person that didn't get those numbers in? Because right now you got somebody's job on the line for CCMR numbers. But I guarantee you won't address it, Negro, because that's all a part of your plan. See, when they told us we wasn't signing enough kids up for the military, and we needed to do that, that was going to help our accountability rating, the school started doing it. As soon as they started exceeding expectations, they moved the goalposts. Oh, no, we're not going to do this no more. So what y'all think finna happen with the CCMR numbers? Mr. Superintendent, I know how that ties into everything. So let's go to Yates and let's look at the actual CCMR numbers. Them being low or not. Who's in charge of those numbers? One of the snakes, Dwayne Clark. Everybody knows it. Mr. Clark, did you fuck those numbers up on purpose? Did you fuck those kids being able to graduate on time up on purpose? You probably did, because I got several phone calls from parents who kids couldn't go across the stage because you were fucking up at the last minute. Explain that to us. How does that work? So Clark can fuck up in an atrocious way where it fucks up kids' graduations. Some kids couldn't even graduate, but he still has his job. Principal ain't had nothing to do with this shit because he was in charge of that. But she loses her job for some numbers that don't come out until the end of the school year. But the biggest thing here, yes, he was at Worthing and he got removed. And the reason that Dwayne Clark was removed from Worthing, I went over it last night, I'll say it again, is because of sexual harassment on the job. Or well, they investigated it, they couldn't substantiate it, but yet they demoted him. Wasn't even a year they demoted. No, they substantiated it. They didn't want to look like fools for hiring him in the first place. So, did Clark purposely fuck up the CCMR numbers because he wants to be a principal again? Let me make you aware of this, Mr. Clark, so that you can get it, because I know from my insiders that I pay good money to, you will never be a principal in HISD. nickel. It won't happen. You think you almost got the Madison job? You wasn't ready for that Harm Clark community. They would eat you up. So I'm going to tell you something. You walking around smirking, you thinking this a game. But I tell you what we're going to do, Hot Wheels. It's time for the smoke to come. Friday, 9 a.m. There will be a protest, and we don't give a fuck if it's 2 or 3 of us out there. We'll be protesting in front of the superintendent's house. We want his resignation. If the board can't figure out a way to buy him out, we're going to protest in front of his house. So that you may be aware, Mr. Clark, Mr. House, this is the United States of America. And I reserve the right to exercise my constitutional right to peacefully protest in front of your fucking house. And it ain't a damn thing that you can do about it. Friday, 9 a.m., the press release will go out tomorrow. We will be in front of your house because what you are doing, especially with the Ccmr numbers, being in bed with TEA, you set it up to where it doesn't matter what Wheatley does. Wheatley's going to fail. And most likely Cashmere, and let me go back to my notes because I don't want to get this wrong because, I'm getting information left from right. Let me go up in here. Let me make sure I got it. Most likely Cashmere, Wheatley, North Forest, and Sharpstown will flunk and be considered IR. See, the thing about a conspiracy is I just need to prove you was involved in it or you had the ideologies of doing it. But not only can I prove that you were involved in it and you had the ideologies of doing it, I can just prove it across the board. So you're helping TEA move the goalposts on our black schools and our black children. And then it will look like TEA shutting them down, when in all actuality, you wrap bows around Wheatley, North Forest. Everybody think Booker T safe, but they want that one too. And what they're going to do is they're going to tell you that I'm lying. I don't know what I'm talking about. He's giving out misinformation. Well, here's the thing. If I told my principal that y'all were coming for her a year before it happened, how bad is my information, motherfucker? How credible is it? And a year later, you do exactly what I said you were going to do. I also am about to obtain some more information. We pay a lot of taxes to the Houston Independent School District. And some of y'all just making money. And all you doing is just flying all over the country. You're not running our school district. You're not doing anything. You got all these people down here from Chicago that's supposed to be showing us the right way. Why the fuck somebody from Chicago can tell us what to do with our school district when they whole goddamn school system fucked up in Chicago? You think that they're smarter in Houston than they are in Chicago? They fucked up the Chicago Independent School District or whatever it's called. But now they down here telling us what to do. And it's the second time in my 14 years that y'all have brought in some people from Chicago to fuck over our schools. The first time I got wind of them, I knew who they were. I knew what their history was. So y'all people here, and I want you to remember this about Chicago, that, it got very, very dangerous after a while, because one morning they woke up and they closed 48 black schools in one time. And the crime rate went through the roof. So y'all already complaining about the crime rate in Houston. Imagine what it would be like if these people closed our schools. Imagine what the crime rate would do if these people closed our schools. What I don't want to see is these outsiders come in here, mess up our school district to the point that it's irreparable. And then they pack their shit and they leave and they go on to the next school district to fuck that one up too. Mr. House, minus the teacher firings at this point, and I'm going to touch on that in a second, you are the second worst superintendent that I've seen in my 14 years. The first one being Terry Greer himself. But we also know who taught Rick the game and who Rick takes his cues from at this point. He takes it from Terry Greer. Hold on a second. I'm feeling like I need another shot because there's a whole bunch of selling out going on around this camp. So in case y'all think I'm faking, I'm really not. So hold on a second. I got to take that shot, man. So here's the thing. I said the second worst superintendent, minus the teacher firings. After next school year, those are coming too. Because the real is, Mr. House, you won't have the money to pay the teachers. You won't have the money to pay them. Ain't no more COVID money after 24. That's next year, brother. So how do you plan on paying these teachers? You can't lower their pay. You gave it to them. So what you're going to do, if you're still here, you're going to fire a slew of teachers and try to close a bunch of black schools. Now, this is what when I thought about it, I had to really go into deep thought. So there's this box where my mind be sitting in. But then I got to get outside of that box to think about it. Everybody want to be mad at the white community. Well, hold on a second. You got a lot of white folks that's pissed off by this shit too, that they hearing from me every night right now. And it's not their fault that the Houston Independent School District decided to prioritize their children over ours. That's not equity. I don't even want to hear the word equity no more. I don't even want to hear that word no more because there is no equity in the Houston Independent School District. There is no fair playing field in the Houston Independent School District as it pertains to poor children, and that includes black, Latino, white, LGBTQ, whatever, Asian, immigrants, people that's coming here, the ones that are coming illegal, they still have a right to go to school. I get it. But the Houston Independent School District decided long time ago to prioritize certain people's kids over the poor children. The reason I know that, I've been in constant conversations with my old superintendent, Billy Reagan. God bless him. I think Billy is in his 90s now. We talk religiously. He got you broke down to the T on exactly how you did it. We got you broke down. The no child left behind bullshit, that's bullshit, man. That was just a new way to push them through school so they could be in the 9th grade and not be able to read. How in the fuck do y'all justify holding somebody accountable for a kid not reading on grade level when you push them through elementary and middle school without even knowing how to read? When did you stop educating them so that they could not learn how to read? But yet these high school principals are being held to a standard for kids that they basically have to teach their ABCs to in the 9th grade. You don't have a plan to fix that. Your plan is worse than the war on drugs back in the early 90s. See, in the early 90s, they didn't have a plan to deal with the crack epidemic. So the only thing they figured that could work was just send folks to jail. See, you don't have a plan to teach our children basic mathematics or to teach them how to read. So your plan is just to push them through. And then when you push them through, you want to hold all of us, especially those good principles, to a standard that's not realistic. You and the Texas Education Agency, whom you are in bed with, to close our schools. Now, you have to make that decision. You have to make that decision to, I broke my shot glass, but that's all right. I hit it from the neck. You have to make that decision to believe them or believe me. And guess what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to fight with you to believe anything. Hold on a second. Let's go to groups. Let's go 86. And let's go. Hold on. I'm not going to fight with you to believe me. Just know that I'm telling the truth. These people, at the end of the day, will be judged by God himself. And a lot of you people that are making these decisions, you are running, neck and neck with the pastors and, it's this and it's that. But the whole time you're destroying a generation of kids that are by far the greatest generation ever been made. And you want to get mad at me. Because as an old man, I believe that these kids can be anything that they want to be. I believe that we have some great educators. I believe that we have some great school personnel, great plant managers that keep our schools clean. And the only piece that's messed up in that equation, it seems to be that way in every school district that's screwed up. Because all of them ain't screwed up. But the ones that are screwed up, the common denominator to that school district being screwed up is that messed up administration. Y'all have ran our children through juvenile justice failure. You've been running your school to prison pipeline better than, some people can drive a car. And you want us to believe that you have the best interests of these children at heart, when in all actuality, you don't. Y'all have walked around and destroyed people's careers. You disrespected their character. What you did to my principal, that's not forgivable. To throw her out there in the media like she had done something wrong or touched the kid the wrong way. And the folks that was in the middle of this, you got the nerve to run your fucking mouth right now? Say, man, if you don't like what I'm saying up here every night, then let me tell you real slow what you could do. Fix your shit. Because guess what you ain't going to stop me from doing? You ain't going to stop me from telling the truth. You ain't going to stop me from fighting to get you bastards away from our kids. Because you people are not right. And God himself is going to deal with you when that time comes. Because y'all sit in these church houses and you catch the Holy Spirit and you act like you know the word of God. Well, it applies to you too. And I know one thing. If you lie, you steal. That's for another night, though. If you lie, the way my mama used to say it, if you lie, you steal. But I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, because Kim Williams, Dwayne Clark, none of these people. Doc, if you got the time, if you sitting around, if you want me to send you a link, I can send you a link. You come on and let's talk about it. That's my good friend, Dr. Abdul Halim Muhammad, the Southwest Regional Minister of the Nation of Islam. And this is what he says. When you destroy our schools, you destroy our neighborhoods, our communities, our nation, and our future. There's a price to pay for sabotaging the master's children. We've had that conversation a bunch. Y'all don't even realize the byproduct of closing North Forest Independent School District is the reason that your crime rate is 153% higher than the national average over there. You can never recover from schools and communities being closed, because you don't just close the school, you close the community. And they feel what we'll do is we'll make it a specialty school and we'll bust the kids in. And I thought we was through with forced busing in the 60s. I thought we were through with that. You feel like the only place that these kids can get an education, and it's no fault of their own, they got the best of the best, is Bel Air, Lamar, West Side, Carnegie. Tell the truth about Carnegie. Where was it located? On the campus of Jones High School, and it was thriving. The whole campus was thriving. And then you started busting in a bunch of white kids, and the white folk didn't want their kids to go to school with those kids. So you separated that building from Jones High School. And then before you know it, years later, they have their own high school. You tanked a comprehensive learning environment to satisfy a few disgruntled parents who had to send their children over there to get that high quality education. But that was on the campus of Jones High School, who at one time, especially when I was in school, had a population of over 3,000. They win the state championship with Daniel Gibson in basketball. And the next year, they don't even have sports. And Jones High School has never recovered. It's never recovered. My friend Erica Williams, former client who HISD tried to fuck over last summer, she's now in Spring Branch. And she says it's a wonderful district. Tell life skill teachers to come over there. There are school districts around here that will treat you guys like royalty. But what you cannot continue to do is let a bullshit teachers union who's in bed with the school district make you think that the only place that you have value is the Houston Independent School District. Because Houston Independent School District does not. And I'm going to say this, and I am going to stand 10 toes down when I say it. They do not want to educate Black children or Latino children. Look at your schools, trustees. Look at what you're going through at your schools, trustees. They do not want to educate Black children. You know something, man? Let me tell you something so we can get this straight. Here we go. Call the Black man a nigger, but give the white folks a pass. You are Candace Owens of Houston, and I'm going to take that. But what I'm not going to do is entertain you tonight. You can write whatever you want to write, and I could care less what you write. I tell you what, and this is the last time I'm going to address you, Natalie Turner. Who controls the data? Who has the ability to play with the data? Well, I don't have to guess that because I've seen them do it before. So if we're going to use data, shouldn't we use current data? Shouldn't we use data that in all actuality is accurate? I am clueless. You're entitled to your opinion. So if we're entitled to use data that's accurate, how can you use the Ccmr numbers against the Yateses, the Wheatleys, the North Forests if the district doesn't send it to TEA on time? No. We talking about Ccmr numbers. Don't jump to benchmarks. You jumped in here and I want to talk to you. So how do I hold you accountable for actually doing your job? You actually did your job, Natalie Turner, and your job was to turn those numbers over to the district who did not get them to TEA in time. So now what they're going to do is come back to Natalie and hold her accountable for them not doing their job. How do you do it? When they wanted our children to sign up for the military, which is the simplest thing that you could do, take the ASVAB test. Okay, good. They that's what they wanted them to do. As soon as too many of our children started doing it, they got rid of that criteria. So now Ccmr. No. Come on, now you intelligent. Now Ccmr is finna go away too because they feel like we done figured out what we need to do. So if we are on the 2-yard line and we're about to score, they move the goalpost back every single time. This is what Jolanda kept saying. People wasn't listening to her because maybe she was talking too loud. This ain't about the school. The schools did what they needed to do. I just talked to a rep from Cashmere today. They had that conversation with their community. We did what we were supposed to do, but the numbers did not get there. Baby, I don't know if you crazy or what. Ccmr numbers have to be turned into the district. The district didn't get them to TEA. I get it. You trolling. Y'all hold on a second, man. I try to be fair, but it's really a waste of time. What you're trying to do, okay, if you know what I'm saying, then why do you keep going back to that? This is common knowledge in the district right now. They didn't get the numbers in. And because they didn't get the numbers in, there were schools that didn't get the scores that they should have gotten. I don't have to listen to you. Hold on, y'all. Hold on a second. Hold on. Hold on a second. This has nothing to do with a timestamp. But I get it. Hold on a second, y'all. Hold on. No, I really don't. Hold on, y'all. Hold on a second, you guys. Hold on just a second. Ooh, toot, toot. Hold on. Type all you want. There we go. Hold on, y'all. Mm. Yeah, I probably never will be. You know, I want to engage you because you got to keep changing profiles. You got to keep coming with the fake ones. I get it. Let me ask you a question. Do you really think I'm doing pretty decent financially? I don't punch a clock. I don't punch a clock at all. But yet I can sit here every night and do what I do. I wonder how I'm able to do that. I wonder how I'm able to do that. No, I don't know education. See, there used to be a situation where, well, don't listen to Monroe. He's not degreed. Well, that'll be taken care of in May. Summa cum laude with a degree in criminal justice and going straight to law school. I don't wake up every morning wanting to be a politician. I wake up wanting to be a public servant. I wake up making sure that kids have shoes to put on their feet. Or I wake up and make sure that kids have a meal to eat before they play a game. I do what I'm supposed to do. And some people have a problem with the fact that I do it. That I do it. And I don't know why we would have a problem with somebody that wakes up every single day and helps anybody's children, black or white or whatever. And the best that you could do, see, it used to be the fat jokes. That never really bothered me. I've been a big dude all my life. Then it became, oh, you broke. Well, you figured out I don't have to punch a clock, so I ain't broke. So now it's, oh, you ain't gonna never get elected to office. That doesn't hurt me. That hurts the people that could benefit from it. But the one thing that I do religiously is I get up here every night under my real name, no faking, no nothing. And I get up here every night and I tell the truth. And some people just don't like that. They don't like that. And then I wonder how, when we say we giving the white man a pass, well, let's go back in history and let's check, see how many passes we need to give our people. When the boats showed up in Africa, when slavery started, is it not true that our own African kings were selling us into slavery to them white folk? But we should give them a pass because they're black like us, and we shouldn't say nothing about it. When you got a black superintendent who has a whole plot to destroy black education, we should give him a pass because we shouldn't say nothing about it. How does that work in the world? This is the reason that we can't seem to get it right. Because when wrong is hurting us, when wrong is hurting our children, we should just give everybody a pass. We should give them all a pass. If you're in a swimming pool and you're drowning and you're screaming for a life preserver, the lifeguard's standing there with it, but never throw it out there, and you eventually drown. That's your fault. Oh, you shouldn't have jumped in the deep end. So when a principal is screaming for help and no help comes, then what are they supposed to do? When you're trying to get an FFA program off the ground like Worthing, hold on a second, y'all. Hold on a second. And you're trying to get an FFA program off the ground like Worthing High School. And then you find out you can't get it off the ground because they took $80,000 from you. How do you address that? How do you fix that? When you're Yates and they take $200,000 from you, how do you address that? When you're Madison and they build your football field on top of a bomb shelter, how do you address that? And you probably will never get another football field. You have to practice in the park like you're a little league team. How do you address that? When a pandemic comes through and then you figure out, well, your kids never had enough computers compared to everybody else, how do you address that? Y'all don't have a clue why this district wanted to centralize everything? Because if they could centralize every single thing, you were going to get less and less of what you were getting. So how do you address that when they're constantly taking shit away from you? I'm trying to figure it out because I don't know everything. I don't know education. I don't know it. I just know every time there's a problem and I go into school, it gets solved. And the only thing that I use to solve the issues is board policy. So no, I don't know education. I don't know how to do none of that. I don't know how to do none of that. But I know one thing. The haves and the have-nots do exist. They actually do. And then you got our own people undermining the have-nots. See, we don't want to talk about the elephant in the room. We don't want to talk about, everything is the white man doing this and that to us, but we don't want to talk about them Negroes that be undermining our own people and our own kids in the school system. We don't want to talk about that, do we? We don't want to tell the truth and call a spade a spade. No, we can't do that, because if we do that, then we're going to expose far too much. We're going to expose far too much. If we start doing that, then too much will be exposed. Before you can clean up anybody else's house, you got to clean up your own. It's sad that me and anybody would argue about education. You want to know why? I know one thing. If you don't give a damn about us to the point that you will cut our fucking grass at our school, you definitely don't give a fuck about us educating our kids. You don't give a damn about our children. But as soon as we find somebody that do, we want to act like they crazy. We want to tear them down. Y'all gonna have to come with something else better than that. And you know what? If anybody feels I threatened them, when are you bastards gonna file charges on me? Stop typing in that I'm threatening people. File charges on me, motherfucker. And I can use all the file. Matter of fact, I got a foul mouth and I want to take me another shot. And I'm from the hood, so I'm gonna hit it from the neck, bitch. I would rather be a foul mouth, cigarette smoking, Hennessy drinking motherfucker any day of the week than to be a fake boule ass Negro walking around here like I'm real with my people and shitting on them at the same time. I don't make threats, I make promises. Friday, 9 a.m., protests in front of the superintendent's house. Tell him I said that. It's the war zone. And I am the 5-star general. Just know, oh, it ain't over, motherfucker.